What's going on, everyone? This is Clone Tech. Quick video here on a couple of ways that I use Gmail, and in particular filters, to make my life better. Basically, the inbox situation is not great between personal email and work email. It's just kind of an inundation, and it becomes a black hole of information, of which a small percentage is either important or urgent. So this is going to be one tip, kind of dealing specifically with masternodes.online alerts. One tip to make the things that are good to know but not urgent get kind of tidied up and tucked away into a nice clean place, and one way to get an immediate notification if there is a bigger problem. So here are the two categories of things that I'm looking at. Subject lines, node payment received. Those are great, obviously. That's why we're doing this stuff, or I guess one of the reasons. But I don't need a buzz every time one of those comes in. I am much closer to plankton than whale, but 5 of those just from today, and I think a couple of those are probably repeats in there. So we're probably looking at 5 to 10 notifications in a half day of being in the office. That are things that I want coming in because I want to be able to look through those and see the regularity and the amounts and kind of scrape that data out. But I don't need to look at them right away. On the flip side, node status changed. Those are things that I want to get my attention. And just so you know, this week has been kind of insanity in, especially this ARC here, trying to get nodes up and running. I think I've stood up maybe 9 nodes since Friday. So new stuff going on. So there's a lot of pre-enabled to enabled to expired as I've kind of sifted through different problems there. But those are things where I want to know. Like, I want to know right away if I get to an expired state or whatever. Basically anything other than enabled, I want to know, because I want to be able to get in there and try to fix things before my timer resets. So let's take a look at the first one. Where these are the things where, yeah, sure, want to know, don't need to know right now. So we're going to snag this text right here, node payment received, because that is something in the subject line that, and I should mention, I don't know if I said it already, but this is all specific to Gmail. I don't know other, like Yahoo Mail or other kind of services, if there's any equivalent or how to set that up. Hopefully there is. But in Gmail, I'm looking for the vertical ... and I'm going to filter messages like this. And what that's going to do is bring up the notifications at email address. And that's a good starting point, but in this case, I don't want to do the same thing to all of those messages. I'm really looking for subject lines with node payment received. And you can do more things like keywords or words you want to exclude and whatever. But for this purpose, what I want to do is pick out all of the emails from that address that have that in the subject line, and then I'm going to make myself a little folder over here that's like payments or payouts or whatever, and I'm just going to automatically set it to mark these as read and put them in that folder. So let's hit create filter. There we go. So we want to mark as read, and we want to apply the label. Label is Gmail's kind of funky way of referring to folders. It basically tags the emails, and then when you click on a folder over here, you're just sorting by that tag. So I'm going to make a new label, and I'm going to call it MNO Payouts. And I don't need to nest. We could get real detailed here if we wanted to, and we could do this, and then we could come back and make other labels for each coin and nest them under it, and then do a bunch of, do the filters and add on that extra field with a keyword that is the coin ticker and get everything kind of sorted out. This is going to be good enough for me. I'm just going to hit create on that label, and then, okay, it checks the box and it picks that. And I think we're good. I am happy with them just not showing up as unread messages and then going into that folder. And I'm going to check this box. This is kind of nice for the starting out of a filter. It's going to take all of these things that came up from that search, and it's going to put them into that folder so we can actually see what it's doing without having to sit around and wait for my next payout. So if I go ahead and hit create filter, it's going to spin its wheels in the background, and if we wait long enough, we're going to start to see next to inbox, it's going to start showing that extra tag on these emails. Maybe. There we go. So yeah, we got kind of hung up there as it was doing its work. But now these are both in the inbox and in the MNO payouts folder. So I come over here, zap that stuff out of the way. And then I have this MNO payouts that I can drill down in. Yeah, so now I can see, really when you click this, what that's doing is it's triggering a search for label : MNO payouts. So I can look through, I can just tag on ARC right now, and I can get everything else filtered out. And you can see, yeah, literally been working on this in the last 3 days. So October 29th is the first payout, and then we've got a few things rolling. Don't be deceived by MN5. I do not have 5 of them, sadly. I just had lots of issues. So 3 and 4 have gone to their final resting place. So that's going to work well for me. It's going to keep the inbox free of those messages while still leaving them in a place where I can go look at them. On the flip side, and this is actually a filter that's already set up, but I'll walk you through the process of how to get it going. These notifications I want to see right away. And the trick that I use for that is, this is a trick that I didn't know until a couple of years ago, but basically any mobile phone number from the major providers you can text by email. So what that looks like on Verizon is an @vtext.com. So my phone number 1234-567890 @vtext.com. You send an email to that, and it's going to translate the contents of that into a text message and deliver it. So that's a better place for me, where I can see things right away. Text messages get my attention for the most part, and they don't get lost in the black hole of the email box. I'll put this link in with the description here as well, so that for the other carriers like AT&T and Boost, Sprint, T-Mobile, you can see the equivalent there, to be able to translate your phone number into getting you text alerts. So once you have your texting email address figured out, what you'll need to do is add a forwarding address, and should back up one step and show that to get where I just was, I had this kind of pre-staged so that we didn't have to wait for it. You have to hit the gear and then hit settings. So under settings here, I'm going to add a forwarding address. Like I said, my phone number is 123-456-7890 @vtext.com. And you hit next, and this next message is misleading. It's going to say, are you sure you want to forward your email? And it makes it sound like when you press this button, every single email is going to get translated into a text message on your phone. That's not actually what it does. It just sets it up as one of the options. Now, the problem that I have here is that I lied. That's not really my phone number, so I can't confirm this, but it'll be fine. We'll be able to we'll be able to show the setup just fine. But basically, my phone would be dinging, and then I would have a code to put in here to verify, hey, I'm actually not trying to spam out texts with this service. So you'd put in the code and hit verify, and then that would be set up and ready to go. Coming back to here, the emails that I want, just in a quick study of subject lines, it all says coin and then node status changed. And basically what I'm really looking for is changed to expired or inactive, but everything should be enabled from now until the end of time. So I don't really care what it is. If something's status changes, I want to know. So I'm going to use that similarly to how we did before. I'm going to pick my favorite one here, ZOC, and same process, find the email that you're looking for, ... filter messages like this. That will bring it up as from masternodes.online, and I'm going to give it a second to load so that it doesn't break. And then I can paste in node status changed for the subject, and then I want to say create filter. And then we're at familiar territory again. I personally am going to mark these as red because I know they're going to a different place that's going to get my attention, so I don't need to be alerted in both places. We could apply a label there if we wanted to. I'm not going to do that, but it might be kind of a nice idea to put in like MNO alerts, just to have some data on how many issues you're having or how many status changes are going on. If I click forward, it's 2. Now, oh, I don't get it because I haven't verified it, so I'm just going to pick this actual phone number, which is going to be grayed out. Let's pretend that it's 123-456-7890 at vtex.com. So I'm going to say forward it's to that email address, and then I can hit create filter. And this one's a little bit different where I can't check the box to do this with existing messages. You can't do that with the emails that have already been sent. It's only things that are hitting your inbox fresh. So that is it. Once I hit create filter here, then I have Gmail officially set to work for me, and it's going to be looking for payouts and marking them as red, filtering them off into a nice place where it doesn't clutter up the inbox, and any status changes it's going to text me about right away. So hopefully that is helpful.